Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of War Machine Season 3.1. So, coming into here, we have Semi-Final G, which will feature the 8 robots that made their way past Heat G, and will be looking to claim a spot in this season's Grand Final. So, yeah, we've seen several great fights, several worthy competitors make it to the Grand Final episode, and those other brackets for those extra wildcard spots into the Grand Final are stacking up with a lot of big names. So sure enough that we're going to see some hard-fought fights coming up soon. But we got a few more semifinals to figure out with this one, for example. 4 left to go, and yeah, several big names as I mentioned before. Let's go ahead and check out the bracket, see what it looks like. So for this one, getting the top seed was Last Rites, who was the runner-up from last season and had a very influential and destructive showdown over Pussycat in their first round, their opening round matchup. Taking on Last Rites will be Alien Destructor, who started off with a devastating loss to PP3D and then won a judge's decision against Stinger and Firestorm in the Redemption Rumbles to get to this point. Getting the 2 seed was Bullfrog, who dominated their fight with Firestorm with that powerful flipper right there, and definitely going to be one to watch out for. Facing them will be Barberous, a massive drum spinner, started off with a loss to TillyEWE 3, but then won their way through the Redemption Rumble and won it by a pretty influential decision. So, Barberous is another one to not underestimate. Right below that one, we have the 3 seed, which was given to PP3D in their destructive win over Alien Destructor with that powerful undercutter right there. Another spinning weapon for their opponents to watch out for. Taking on PP3D will be 259 and their pretty devastating vertical spinner, who got them a pretty solid victory over Stinger in their opening round matchup. Then right below the 1 seed with the 4 and the 5 seed, where the 4 seed was given to Hworf, another undercutter right there, who managed to knock piece after piece off Tornado to win that fight by a judge's decision and get here. Taking on and Hworf will be TillyEWE 3 in that flipper, and definitely a pretty solid flipper. And also some pretty good armor on that robot, so they should definitely give Hworf a big run for their money when we get to that matchup. So yeah, if you don't know how this tournament is run, if you haven't seen the other semifinal episodes, pretty much these 8 robots are going to fight it out bracket style. The winner of this bracket, the robot that wins 3 fights, will manage to get an automatic spot in this season's grand final bracket. But then however, if you get 2nd, 3rd, or 4th place, you are not out yet, because there are 5 wildcard spots up for grabs into the Grand Final episode after we finish the semifinals section that will go to some of these 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place robots through a series of other brackets that we will do. So, yeah, we got some fun stuff on the way. I'd say let's go ahead and get to our first matchup, where we're going to go to the 3 and the 6 seed and see PP3D take on 259. We got a battle between an undercutter and a vertical spinner. So on one side, we have PP3D with that undercutter right there that did quite a bit of damage to Alien Destructor. And on the other side, we have 259 with that vertical spinner who did a lot of damage to Stinger. So this one's going to come down to who can outdrive the other, of course, because I imagine both these robots are going to be trying to avoid the other's weapon as much as possible in this one before they start taking too much damage. And who can stand up to the hits the best, because I imagine we're probably going to see some weapon-on-weapon action between these 2 robots. And either way, that should be very exciting to see in my eyes. So let's find out who can stand up to the impacts the best, because I think whoever wins that is going to advance in this one. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright, here we go. Both weapons give to speed. We got a weapon-on-weapon action here between those 2 robots, but neither of them seems very affected by it. 259 taking some hits to the sides like that right there. Big hit right there. PP3D trying to get to the sides right there. Knocks off one of the side pieces. Those two wheels are now exposed on 259. And a big hit that flips 259 over, but they can self right through their weapon. Another big hit. And 259 is smoking and on control board damage. Not the start they were hoping for, and they lose a wheel now. This is not going well for 259, and the spikes officially knock out 259's control board, and PP3D advances with a relatively quick KO in this one. Not even a minute, and PP3D has taken out the devastating vertical spinner of 259 and advanced to the next round. So, pretty solid showing from PP3D. We saw one weapon-on-weapon hit that really left both of them unfazed at the beginning of this one. Then PP3D started to chew up the sides of 259, took off some side armor, took off a wheel. We saw a few more weapon-on-weapon shots that PP3D seemed to benefit from most, because we saw them get a few flips on 259, smoke started erupting out of that robot, and eventually the control board got taken out at 259, leaving PP3D with the win, and they will move on to the next round, where they will take on the winner of Bullfrog and Barberous. But before we get to that matchup, we're going to go right to the top, where we got the number 1 seed Last Rites and the 8 seed Alien Destructor. Last Rites' strategy is surely going to be the same as what it usually is. Get that horizontal spinner up to full speed, hit their opponents in their weak spots. Well, on the other hand, Alien Destructor is surely going to be box rushing, because I'm not sure how well that they can stand up to that horizontal spinner. Like their armor did do pretty well against PP3D, but Last Rites is a whole nother step when it comes to power in the horizontal spinner. So Alien Destructor is definitely going to need to slow down that spinner as much as possible and use their ground game and push power to their advantage to control this match. I have a feeling we have another entertaining showdown coming. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Find out if the 1 seed will advance or if the underdog can pull off the upset. Alright, here we go. Last Rites getting the spinner speed. Here comes the Alien Destructor with the box rush. They took a glancing blow right there. Last Rites nailing the sides right there. Big hit that pops Last Rites in the air. But we got smoke already coming out of Alien Destructor. Not the way they were hoping to start this match right there. Because now Last Rites, they're all the way up to speed right now. And they're landing hit after hit on the front to Alien Destructor right there. Some pretty solid blows right there that Last Rites is definitely winning so far. Nice hit right there, continuing to knock Alien Destructor off balance, and another flip right there from Last Rites. Alien Destructor seems to be holding up to the hits pretty well, popping Last Rites into the air once, but definitely needs to do more so far in these next 2 minutes right now if they want to take this fight. Hit after hit being landed by Last Rites here. Alien Destructor charging right in there, trying to break that spinner, but it's not going so well for them so far. They're just taking impact out after impact here, popping up into the air. Last Rites has got to be careful about their stability right there, but now they're right back up on their 2 wheels. And yeah, we got Alien Destructor almost on control board damage right here. Alien Destructor's got to do better than this right now. I think they might need to win this one by a knockout because the damage seems to be stacking up on them, especially internal-wise. So halfway through this match, Last Rites is on top without a doubt, but keep in mind, Alien Destructor did knock Last Rites off balance a few times here. If they can do more of that, they might be able to bounce back from this one. Big hit right there. And Last Rites just keeps throwing Alien Destructor back while they get that weapon back up to full speed here. Not going so well for Alien Destructor here. Definitely got to do better than this, as I've said. 1 minute left to go in this one. And off comes a big chunk of the frame right there. That was a huge hit by Last Rites. And currently Alien Destructor is on control board damage right there. That was a huge hit, and I think Alien Destructor definitely needs to win this one by a knockout now, after that kind of damage just got pulled on them right there. They might need to activate the pit or get Last Rites out of the arena, but not going to happen anymore, because Last Rites has now won by a control board KO, and both of and probably two of the more devastating horizontal spinners have now advanced. Of course, we got a third one coming soon, though. So yeah, Last Rites definitely did great in terms of their strategy. They got that horizontal spinner up to full speed, and then went in there, landed hit after hit, until Alien Destructor's control board gave out. I will give Alien Destructor a lot of credit for how long they lasted in that match, because they lasted a full two something minutes with one of the most devastating spinners in this entire mod here in the runner-up from last season. That's a pretty good accomplishment there, if I do say so myself. We will see Last Rites in the next round, where they will take on the winner of our next match, where we are going to see the 4 and the 5 seed Hworf and TillyEWE 3 face off. So on the one side, we got Hworf with that where they're an undercutter, as well as PP3D right there. Some similar design capabilities right there. Surely they're going to have a similar strategy that Last Rites had in this recent matchup. Get the spinner up to speed, avoid the box rush, and then just land hit after hit, try to cause as much damage as possible. Their opponent is TillyEWE 3 with a flipper right there. A pretty solid flipper right there, and then some pretty good armor. So this is going to be a real test for honestly both robots in this one. And I can't wait to see it, so let's go ahead and get right to it. Time for this match to begin. The horizontal spinner getting up to speed here. Misflip right there, and now Hworf underneath Tilly temporarily. But then a nice lift right there, and Hworf getting underneath again, trying to chew up the underside on Tilly right there. And yeah, pushing them around right now. Tilly's got to get free of this right now. And they do right there by going over the top of Hworf. Nice flip from Tilly right there. And getting right back in there. And now Hworf can't seem to get underneath as easily. Nice couple of flips right there, giving Hworf some airtime. And now Tilly has Hworf in the corner right now. Excellent stuff. Excellent bounce back from that first 20-30 seconds by Tilly right there. Because now this is some excellent control here. But that horizontal spinner is up to full speed. Hworf goes in for a pretty solid hit, but no damage so far, other than internal damage, because there's clearly partway towards the control board. Tilly almost getting it out of the arena, just missed right there. Hworf tried to get to the sides, but Tilly did not allow it to happen. Good driving from Tilly so far. This one. Now they have Hworf up against the rails once again. Excellent stuff from Tilly right now. Now with the lower seed in this one, who's currently controlling the brunt of this match right now. But right now they still got to be careful of that horizontal spinner, because it's still a very destructive weapon and one to watch out for in this one. We are halfway through this match right now, and I'd say Tilly is on top right now, probably not by much. These two locked together, not anymore. Nice flip right there from Tilly. Another nice shot. Now the horizontal spinner grinding away at the flipper, trying to get to the internals right there. It's definitely not doing as much damage as what they were able to do in the tornado fight. So now here comes Hworf getting the spinner to speed, landing some more shots at the front right there. Those misflips have definitely been costly to Tilly, because they've given Hworf some opportunities to land some pretty solid blows with the horizontal spinner, but now it's jammed up in the corner. Tilly has a pin right now, and now they release, and Hworf's spinner is back up to full. Another nice flip here, trying to put Hworf back in the corner, but Hworf gets out and gets a couple hits at the sides. Once again, not really much damage in this one. Hworf back underneath. They have the spinner up to full speed right now. Currently locked horns in the corner right now. Both robots trying to get out, but really struggling to do so. Countdown going on both of these robots. It looks like the countdown's probably going to get turned off on these two robots. Got turned off on Hworf when there's 2 seconds left, though. 10 seconds left to go in this match, and currently Hworf is being pinned in the corner right now. Took a few glancing blows, but this match is going to the judges, and a solid push, getting Hworf up on the rails like that right as the clock expired right there. We have our first judges decision of the video. So yeah, this was a pretty solid showdown here. Tilly's strategy was definitely to box rush, get in Hworf's face, and control the brunt of this match. And they did that very well. Hworf's goal is probably to get the spinner up to full speed and cause as much damage as possible. They definitely accomplished the getting up to full speed part, but not so much the damage right there. Because we didn't see any pieces flying off of Tilly in that fight. They definitely did take some internal damage because they were part way to control board, but still, not a lot from the undercutter. So yeah, kind of like going off the judging criteria where we're scored off of damage, control, aggression, and weapon usage. Weapon usage was about even between these two robots. Yeah, control and aggression probably favors Tilly, and then damage probably favors Hworf, even though there wasn't a lot of it. It'll be interesting how the judges take a lot of this into consideration, because both of these robots had some pretty solid moments in this match, and I'd say let's go ahead and find out who won this decision. Alright, so the judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is TillyEWE 3. So I gotta agree with the decision right there, because definitely some of the bigger moments there were the flips that Tilly landed on Hworf in this match. But will not deny that Hworf had some great moments of their own here, and definitely an effective design, and I hope we'll get to see Hworf in a bonus fight. So we'll see Tilly in the next round, where they are going to get another big spinner. So far, out of their opposition has all been spinners, and they're about to get one of the biggest spinners in the competition. So they're going to get a real test in last rites in the next round. But before we get to that matchup, we got one fight left to go in the first round, and it is between Bullfrog and Barberous, a battle between a flipper and a full-body drum spinner. Yeah, so this is going to be a big test for Bullfrog taking on a big spinner and Barberous here. This one's going to come down to because Bullfrog's certainly going to be box rushing here and trying to give Barberous as much airtime as they can with that flipper without losing that flipper, of course. Because Barberous can do quite a bit of damage with that drum spinner. So Barberous is definitely going to be trying to get the drum spinner up to speed and just get in there, try to cause as much carnage as possible, and win the fight that way. So, whose strategy is going to work between these two robots? I don't know, but I do want to find out, so let's go ahead and get to this showdown. Time for this match to begin. Both robots being in the middle, Bullfrog landing a little lift right there, and now takes a shot from the drum spinner. Nice flip right there that gives Barberous some air time. Another big flip right there. Great start to this match from Bullfrog right here, but they got to be careful about that drum spinner right there. Nice flip from Bullfrog right there. Another nice flip from them. So far, not a lot of damage being caused by the drum spinner, but we're only 30 seconds into this fight, so there's a lot of time for that to change right now. Miss flip right there from Bullfrog, but they're right back on Barberous, and after they flip themselves right there, but Barberous unable to take advantage of that. So, we're a minute into this fight right now, and Bullfrog is safely in the lead right now on points, but there's a lot of time, so that could very easily change in this one. So, good start from Bullfrog here. Another nice flip, giving Barberous some more airtime. Big flip that puts Barberous in the corner right there. Here comes Bullfrog once again, getting all up in Barberous's face. Once again, no damage so far from that drum spinners right now. Bullfrog appears to be a pretty tanky robot right now. So, and now Barberous getting put in the corner once again, but now they're landing a few hits on the sides of Bullfrog. But Bullfrog gets free, and now on the attack once again, but Barberous underneath them with those spikes. Maybe Barberous should have tried to use some of those spikes to try to get underneath Bullfrog in this one, rather than going head on with the drum spinner. Might be a little more effective right there. Decent hit right to the sides of Bullfrog, but not much damage once again. Little over a minute to go in this fight. I noticed Barberous very close to control board damage. A couple of beautiful flips from Bullfrog right there, but not a lot of damage. But now here comes Barberous on the attack, landing a couple of shots, but Bullfrog flipped themselves right back over right there. And now a nice flip from Bullfrog right there. Another nice flip that gives Barberous some serious airtime in this one. another nice flip right there. Great stuff from Bullfrog in this one. Great stuff from the 2 seed here. They flipped themselves over and now took a few more glancing blows from Barberous again. Nice hit right there, and Barberous on some serious control board damage right now. And that's going to do it for Barberous, who's been finished off, and Bullfrog advances to the next round. Okay, so that was an excellent showdown from these 2 robots. Excellent showing from Bullfrog. Charged right in there with that flipper. Leading a flip after flip on Barberous right there. Barberous's drum spinner unfortunately did not do a lot of damage in that one. Just proving that Bullfrog is pretty well armored in this one and was able to take those hits very well. We'll see Bullfrog in the next round where they'll get another spinner in PP3D in their undercutter. We'll have to see how well Bullfrog will fare when they take on the undercutter, or when we get to that top 4 matchup. Great matchup. Hopefully we'll get to see Barberous in a bonus fight, because that's another fantastic robot. Alright, so now we have the top 4 sets, which will both feature a battle between a horizontal spinner and a flipper. On one side, we have the 1 and the 5 seed, where we got Last Rites, who's going to take on TillyEWE 3, which that will be our first matchup of the top 4. And then on the other side, we'll see PP3D and Bullfrog, a battle between the undercutter and the flipper here. Both those should be entertaining matchups. Let's go ahead and get to talking about the battle between the 1 and the 5 seed, where we'll have Last Rites and TillyEWE 3. So, yeah, we got a battle between a horizontal spinner and a pretty well armored flipper. This is going to be a real test for Tilly in terms of how good their armor is in this one, because they're definitely going to need it when taking on one of the baddest spinners in this entire mod. So, this one's going to come down to, can Last Rites dish out the hits they are so well known for, and can Tilly provide another excellent box rush here, slow down or even break that horizontal spinner on Last Rites, and control the match the same way they were able to do in their first round matchup with Hworf. This should be an excellent showdown that's on the way. Let's go ahead and get right to this showdown. Alright, here we go. Last Rites gains sprint speed. Here comes Tilly, taking a glancing blow to the sides right there. Nice hits from Last Rites, and now Last Rites is off balance right now. Oh, Hworf's big shot at Tilly's big shot at winning this is going to be keeping Last Rites off balance right now and controlling the fight that way. But right now they're taking more glancing blows. They did have a solid control moment though. Gotta give them that. So, oh, big hit, and off comes a big chunk of side armor right there. Some pretty solid damage from Last Rites right there. And Tilly's now been flipped over while Last Rites is off balance here. Tilly's got herself right. They take a big hit right there. There to the sides once again. Now Last Rites has the underside right there, looking to clip off and do more damage right there. Last Rites spinner is stopped, but now they're getting it back up to full speed, landing a few more glancing blows right there. The pit is now open right now. That may have been a mistake, because Tilly's definitely better designed to push a robot down the pit right now. Last Rites gotta be careful. They are now off balance right now. And now landing another big hit that knocks off another piece of side armor right there. Tilly's really struggling, taking a lot of damage in this one. But Last Rites now off balance while Tilly's on their side right now, trying to right themselves here. Now here comes Last Rites. Big hit that almost knocks Tilly all the way down the hit right there. Just literally like drop kicked them right there. And now Last Rites coming in once again. Big hit and knocks Tilly down the pit. And Last Rites will advance in this one. Man, I will admit Tilly gave Last Rites a serious run for their money in this one. Tilly's strategy was to box rush them, keep that spinner from getting up to full speed, and knock them off balance as much as possible. They did that pretty well, but the damage just stacked up too much on them, because they started taking hits to the sides that knocked off pieces of side armor right there, and then eventually Last Rites got a couple finishing blows right there that just absolutely punted Tilly, and then knocked Tilly down the pit, and Last Rites will advance and go on to tonight's final. Tilly definitely showed that they have the potential to last through that third place bracket, or yeah, to win this third place match and potentially claim their spot in that. But we'll find out who both of these robots' opponent will be, because we have another top 4 match to do right here, where we got PP3D and Bullfrog, the 3 and the 2 seed. This one's going to be another box rushing type showdown here, because Bullfrog's almost certainly going to be trying to box rush PP3D, prevent that undercutter from getting up to full speed, and keep it from doing as much damage as possible. While Bullfrog's just going to be trying to do that and land as many flips as possible, PP3D is just going to be trying to get the undercutter up to full speed, try to cause as much damage as possible, see if they can snag a wheel or break that flipper. So, yeah, who will join Last Rites in the battle for a grand final spot, or who will be joining TillyEWE in the battle for an instant spot in the third place bracket? Let's go ahead and find out and get to this match. Alright, here we go. PP3D getting the spin up to speed. Here comes Bullfrog looking to get in on the action here. A misflip right there. And nice flip right there, but took a few glancing blows from the undercutter right there. PP3D coming in with that spinner right there. Landing a few nice hits right onto the sides and the backside of Bullfrog. Not where Bullfrog wants him to be right now. And now Bullfrog has PP3D up against the rails, has them flipped over. Bullfrog might just want to keep them flipped over like that, because I don't think they can touch Bullfrog that easily with that horizontal spinner right there. So, a couple of nice lifts right there, and took a few glancing blows right there. Nice hit from PP3D right there. But now PP3D and Bullfrog back up right now, and flip right there that puts PP3D right side up right there. Excellent showdown so far between these two robots right now. And some action from the floor flipper gets PP3D the breathing room they need right now, but they take a shot from the floor flipper themselves. So yeah, so right now back and forth showdown here. Nice hit, and off comes the flipper on PP3D. PP3D has lost their primary weapon for the rest of this fight, and now PP3D is currently at the sides of Bullfrog. Bullfrog, who has lost that weapon, but clearly has parts of it, because they're able to try to self-right, so, but who knows. But either way, that is a game changer right there. Big piece of damage, but off comes part of PP3D's spinner. PP3D is taking some pretty solid damage as well. Little over a minute to go in this fight. I'd say the loss of that big chunk of the flipper, it puts PP3D ahead in my books. But right now, they are pushing Bullfrog around. Both weapons jammed up and everything right now. 1 minute left to go in this fight. Excellent push from PP3D right here. Bullying Bullfrog into the corner like that right now. A lot happened in that second minute of the fight right now. And now we're into that last minute right now. Key moments right here, but right now they're nearing the Pit of Oblivion, which is open right now. And PP3D pushing Bullfrog towards it. Bullfrog in trouble, and down the hit goes Bullfrog, and PP3D advances. And we're going to see a battle of flippers for tonight's third place matchup, and a battle of horizontal spinners for tonight's grand final match. PP3D, the 3 seed will advance. So yeah, that was an excellent showdown between those two robots. We saw a really back and forth first half of that match, but as soon as that flipper was lost on Bullfrog, it became so much harder for Bullfrog to control the brunt of that match, and PP3D got underneath him with the horizontal spinner, outpushed him a few times, and eventually got Bullfrog down the pit, and that'll lead to PP3D advancing to tonight's final, where they are going to challenge Last Rites for that grand final spot. Pretty solid victory by both robots. Well, pretty solid showing from both robots. Yeah, great victory from PP3D, and we'll see PP3D in tonight's final. Bullfrog definitely showed they have the potential to get to that third place bracket, but we're going to see Bullfrog right next, because we're going to see the third place matchup between Bullfrog and TillyEWE 3. So yeah, we got another flipper showdown between these two robots right here, where both these robots are surely just going to be trying to outdrive the other and win the ground game. And I think that's what's going to be key to winning this showdown here. So, who's got the lower ground game between those two? I kind of want to find out. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright, here we go. Some head-on action between those two, but Tilly goes over the top of Bullfrog. Bullfrog lands a nice flip, but both of them are flipped over, and Tilly's the first to self-right, and they start landing a couple of flips right there. Nice flip from Bullfrog that gives Tilly a ton of airtime right there, and a nice flip from Tilly on the other hand, putting Bullfrog into the corner like that. Bullfrog's got to be really careful. They got to get out of that corner and quickly right now. Because these are some serious control points right there. But now Bullfrog getting back underneath right now. And yeah, both these robots at the sides of the other right now. Misflip right there that causes Tilly to get flipped right there. And yeah, we're a minute into this fight. We've seen some flips from both sides in this one. But I'd say Tilly's controlled a little more of the match so far. But we still have 2 minutes left to go here. A couple of nice flips, and they have Bullfrog against the rails right here. And Bullfrog's gotta get out of there fast in this one. So right now Bullfrog had a few opportunities, got underneath temporarily, but didn't use that flipper. Now they're being pinned up against the rails right here. Great stuff from Tilly right now, the underdog seating wise in this fight. But they are definitely performing pretty well in this fight. Bullfrog's gotta be very careful about those missed flips right there. And a nice flip right there from them once again. Some more head-on action here. Nice flip from Bullfrog once again. Here they come. Looking to continue to knock Tilly off balance. Beautiful flip and out of the arena over the entire rails. And Bullfrog will advance to the 3rd place bracket here. So yeah, lots of back and forth action between those two robots with Bullfrog's flipper and Tilly's flipper as well. So yeah, this one's going to come down to ground game. It was relatively even between those two robots, but it came down to who can get the best moment and get that out of the arena, or who can control the brunt of this match if this fight was to go the full 3 minutes. Bullfrog managed to seal the victory by getting the knockout, because it's always better to win a battle by knockout than send it to the judges. So, great victory by Bullfrog. We will see them in the 3rd place bracket, which will be coming at the end of the semifinals here. We'll find out after the last semifinal episode whether Tilly's resume was good enough to put them to grant them one of the 6 wildcards into the 3rd place bracket. So yeah, great win by Bullfrog here to seal their placement in that, and solid performance from Tilly in all their fights so far. So yeah, now we got a grand final to determine here, and it is between Last Rites and PP3D, a battle of the horizontal spinners. So yeah, on one hand we got Last Rites and so their massive horizontal spinner, and PP3D with their undercutter right now. Both these robots have proven so far that they are definitely capable of doing damage over the other in this one, and surely I feel their strategies are probably going to be about the same, which is going to be go for the other robot's wheels, because both of them have exposed wheels that are definitely vulnerable to the other's spinner. So this should be an exciting matchup. Hopefully we'll get to see a bunch of chaos and carnage. I think let's go ahead and get right to it and see which one of these two has the better spinner. Alright, here we go now. Between these two, getting their horizontal spinners up to full speed, charging right in there, weapon-on-weapon action between those two robots right now, and PP3D loses a wheel very early on in this match. We got some more weapon-on-weapon action between those two robots. Last Rites being knocked off balance in this one, but PP3D has lost drive on one side. Last Rites still has to be careful about those two wheels. We saw PP3D get a solid shot on the sides right there. Not a good way for PP3D to start this final fight. So, yeah, because that's a major piece of damage right now. But they got to keep Last Rites from getting to those other wheels. So, yeah. Almost a minute into this fight, PP3D's held their own pretty well despite having one wheel, because now they're knocking Last Rites off balance. nice weapon-on-weapon shot here. PP3D would definitely prefer the weapon-on-weapon hits right here rather than allowing their sides to take another impact. Big hit right there that sends both robots back right now. And we're over a little over a minute in, and PP3D almost getting knocked down in the pit of oblivion, while Last Rites is now spinning out of control here. Last Rites has got to be very careful of those stability problems right here. But yeah, I will give PP3D quite a bit of credit. They're holding their own very well in this fight, despite having just one wheel so far. After losing that wheel, that first one, about 20 to 30 seconds into this entire match. So, Last Rites continuing to be knocked off balance right here. PP3D gotta be very careful about that other wheel. We saw Last Rites almost slice right through it, like what they did with that first wheel. So yeah, once again, here comes Last Rites once again. And big hit that sends Last Rites off balance and into the corner right there. And yeah, another nice shot right there, knocking Last Rites off balance once again. And here comes PP3D and Last Rites again. Another big weapon-on-weapon hit. So far, we've just been seeing a lot of weapon-on-weapon action between these two robots. Great stuff so far in this one. And gotta give lots of credit to both robots here, because this has been an excellent showing so far, despite the early damage. Last Rites gotta be careful about those wheels once again, but now Last Rites appears to be off balance. I think that spinner took some damage right there, but PP3D almost lost that other wheel right there. So yeah, here we go. Another big weapon-on-weapon shot, but now Last Rites appears to have an off-balance spinner. Off comes the other wheel right as the 10-second mark hits. It's looking like we're going to see a judge's decision for tonight's final. And the clock has now hit 0 after Last Rites went in for one last hit. And gotta say, this really surprises me that this match ended up going the full 3 minutes right there. Because, wow, did we see a really impressive showdown between these two robots. Because yeah, so on one hand we saw Last Rites get the first big blow in, knocking off one of those wheels of PP3D. Then we saw tons of weapon-on-weapon hits that knocked Last Rites off balance here, and eventually broke that spinner on Last Rites. But then eventually Last Rites got that last wheel, left PP3D motionless, but with 10 seconds left on the match, the clock ended up hitting 0, and this fight went to the judges. And yeah, well, I do think losing those wheels was crucial on PP3D. PP3D did very well in this match despite losing those wheels. Like, knocked Last Rites off balance more than once in this match, broke the spinner, and very much held their own in this one. This is a solid performance from PP3D, and can't wait to see what the judges had to say about this one. Let's go ahead and get right to it now. So yeah, the judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is Last Rites. So yeah, it seems like those damage bits that Last Rites got sealed the deal for it, but was an excellent showdown for both of these two robots. I imagine PP3D is going to be a force to be reckoned with when we get to the second place bracket that will determine the 5 wildcard spots into the grand final episode. And the PP3D is going to be one that the other robots are surely not going to want to draw. Definitely a great performance from PP3D. We will, as well as Last Rites, as we'll see Last Rites in the grand final bracket, where Last Rites is another one that I'm sure not a lot of people are going to want to draw. So, excellent performance from both these two robots. Can't wait to see either of them in the future. So yeah, this will close it out for this video. Thanks for watching this episode. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Next time you'll get to semifinal H, where we have a lot of big names coming in that one. So, a ton more big matchups are on the way. So, yeah. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll hopefully see you then.